What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Justin Colby, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about, is wholesaling real estate over? Is it banned? Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am Justin Colby, and on this episode, we're going to talk to all you wholesalers out there. Is it over? Is it game over? Is wholesaling going to be officially banned? If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, I'd urge you to like this video alone, but also make sure you subscribe as I drop 3 videos a week, and also hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I drop my videos. Now, for this video, this hits close to home as I am a wholesaler. Not only do I wholesale in one state, I wholesale in 7 different states. So I'm doing my best to keep up on this subject of wholesaling and whether it's going to remain legal or not. As a matter of fact, one of my close friends, a very large wholesaler and investor here in Arizona, actually gave me a call about this because Phoenix, and I think the whole state of Arizona, is coming after wholesalers. He just got his first notification, may even be his second, that he is actually practicing real estate without being licensed, and he's making commissions on practicing real estate, which is a licensable transaction. Now, what I mean by that, because I'm not even certain licensable is a word here, but what I mean by that is because he's not a licensed realtor and making money on the deals that he's wholesaling, the National Association of Realtors and the AAR, the Arizona Association of Realtors, have basically given him his first warning. Now, they're again saying if you do not become licensed and do transactions in the way that licensed realtors do, we are going to start handing out fines. Now, to my understanding, as far as I've dove into this, again, not sure doven's a word, but as far as I've done my research into Arizona, I don't believe it is actually a bill that has been passed yet. What happens is realtors actually have a pretty large lobbyist community in government lobbying to do away with wholesalers. Now, let's take a step back here. Let's try to understand, why would realtors want to be lobbying against wholesalers here? Well, realtors have to work under a pretty strict code of conduct, right? They have to take tests, pass the tests, get licensed, and there are rules to engagement as a licensed realtor. They need to uphold those rules, and in so doing, they're actually able to get compensated for helping homeowners sell their homes or buyers buy a home. Now, that is specific to NAR, National Association of Realtors, as well as your local state realtor board, so Arizona Association of Realtors. Now, each state can be a little bit different, but in general, they're all basically saying to do real estate transactions and earn a commission, you need to be a licensed realtor. Now, what we are doing as wholesalers is practicing real estate without being licensed. This, they have a problem with. Now, I want to give you my 2 cents because I am biased as a wholesaler and unlicensed. So it's my channel, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my 2 cents. I don't agree with them thinking that we are actually doing anything illegal. They made a choice in their direction of income, which would be a licensed realtor. I made a choice in my direction of income, which would be a real estate investor. Now, the transactions can be similar in the sense of I am helping a seller sell their home and I am helping a buyer buy a home. There's a lot of similarity there. I can respect that. I understand that. But where I believe a lot of this is coming is the realtors are actually coming after us wholesalers because they think we are stealing their business. A good friend, Jerry Norton, and I have discussed this, and actually I don't, and he doesn't actually agree with this. You see, us wholesalers tend to find properties that are in disarray, that the homeowner is in a massive need to sell their home. If they wanted to, they have the option to list it with a realtor any day of the week, as most people who aren't in a bad position do. But what we do is we actually become a solution to those individuals that are in need of selling their home. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's personal, but more often than not, there's a need to sell their home off of market, not using a realtor, so we can be more flexible and create creative ways for them to sell their home that aren't in alignment with putting the home on the market on the MLS. So we actually are solving a solution for these homeowners and buyers, by the way, that I don't believe realtors really are able to do. You see, as a realtor, and by the way, in full disclosure, I was a realtor when I first got started back in 2005 and had my realtor's license in the state of California. I no longer have it, and I haven't for over a decade. What I will tell you is though, a realtor definitely needs to be able to present a property in a certain look on the MLS, meaning the home needs to be clean, the home needs to be kept up. You don't want to put a property on the MLS that is in complete disarray. Maybe you're dealing with a homeowner that is a hoarder and they have stuff all over their house. That is not a good look and is likely not a sellable listing to a realtor, where I, as a wholesaler or a real estate investor in general, can come in and create a creative opportunity for that seller to not only sell their home, sell it at a price that they agree, and be flexible and creative on how we do that. So in my opinion, and I know my boy Jerry also supports this, we're actually serving different homeowners more often than not. So now let's get back to what is really happening here. The city of Philadelphia now has cracked down on this. I know the state of Illinois has cracked down on this. Oklahoma City has cracked down on this. Now Arizona looks to be cracking down on this. At this point, I'm actually giving a lot of weight to the fact that this is actually gaining traction, and it could be very soon where all 50 states, or a large component of them, will actually make you get licensed to practice real estate. So now the question becomes, how do you become a wholesaler or stay a wholesaler and not have to get licensed? Well, the first answer is you need to like this video. That is the first answer. Smash the like button and make sure you subscribe. Secondly, the other option is you can do what's called double closings. So instead of assigning properties, traditionally wholesaling is defined by an assignment of contract. I would contract a property at an agreed upon sales price to the seller, and I would assign that contract and my interest in that contract over to another buyer. So in a sense, I'm not selling a property, I'm selling a contract. It's called an assignment, and that assignment carries a fee that I actually get at the close of escrow. So again, maybe semantics, maybe something that is actually arguable in the court of law, but I'm selling my interest in the transaction of buying a home, assigning the contract. I'm selling the assignment to a buyer. And again, what the realtors are bringing up is, did you ever really intend on buying the home? Did you have an ability to buy the home? And if you didn't, then you're practicing as a realtor and you need to get licensed and they're going to give you a fine. That is their argument. Some of these fines are creeping up, so it is something to take note and continue to like this video. So back to double closings. A double closing can still technically be a wholesale, but it's really actually buying the property and then reselling the property very fast. Typically, it's using the end buyer's finances, the end buyer's money, that finances your A to B transaction. Then the B to C simultaneously closes, like boom, boom, within 5 minutes, and you actually funded and closed the deal and then resold it. You actually took title to that property for several minutes and then resold it. The reason why a lot of wholesalers don't like using that as their model is because then us, the B, right, the buyer, when we're buying the property from the seller, now we actually will have to pay the closing costs. If you guys have watched any of my wholesaling videos, you'll know that I actually describe when we contract a deal, we encourage the seller to work with us by saying we will take care of and pay for the closing costs. So if I'm gonna fund the deal in this scenario, then I'm gonna actually have to pay for the closing costs and then resell the property over to my buyer. And then he will pay or she will pay for their closing costs. So essentially there's two sets of closing costs that are now getting paid for. So a lot of wholesalers don't like to do that so they can keep the money in their pocket. But this is an actual way to get around this idea that you're not closing on transactions. Could the lobbyists and the realtors still try to make you prove whether you had the ability to fund or the intent? Again, some of this is unknown, but that one way to actually fund a deal and be able to make it a true A-B transaction and B-C transaction will help you wholesalers. Secondly, you have the opportunity to actually go get licensed. Listen, at the end of the day, I may just be being stubborn. I've done this for 14 years. I have not been licensed for any of them. I have done over 1,800 transactions. And at this point, I have not gotten caught or fined regarding wholesaling. But if the push does come to shove Do I need to go get licensed? It may just have to be. I also have an idea that I've been running by some of my contemporaries, some of the names that you know, about whether I could have a broker actually get a brokerage under my LLC company, and that way every transaction that goes through my LLC is under an actual brokerage, and that way everything is licensed, there's a license number to it and protected there. And so that is an option I am looking into. So here's my final point on this situation. I'm not gonna change my business at a moment in time. I'm still wholesaling, I'm still unlicensed. In fact, I'm doing it in 7 different states. This video alone might catch the attention of realtors who wanna throw me under the bus or try to make a point out of this. Here's the reality is I am not harming their business. I am serving a different seller for the most part than they would take on as a client. These homes almost always need massive amount of rehab. They will typically be in a scenario that the seller needs to sell in a very short amount of time, that the buyer would not be able to get financing for because of the condition of the home. More often than not, like 99% of the time, that is the case. I feel confident that I'm actually doing good by these homeowners rather than harming them. By the way, anyone in their right mind can look up the value of their home on Zillow and let me know what they want to sell for. I am not harming them. I'm not tricking sellers. Anyone can see the value of their home on Zillow, and if they want, they can call a realtor because they're everywhere and they can list the property. For them to engage with me, for them to negotiate with me and or wholesalers alike means there's some level of motivation that they actually don't want to list it on the MLS. They actually do want to make more money, and they have the right to do so. So by no means are you, wholesaler, or me, wholesaler, harming these homeowners. In fact, we are creating a lot of value and providing value to them in a time of need. Keep doing what you're doing, wholesalers. Obviously, to some level, and especially in states like Illinois, cities like Philadelphia, and states like Oklahoma, they are cracking down. Pay attention, beware. Most likely it is coming, as it sounds like it's coming right here in my backyard in Phoenix, Arizona. So it is something I'm aware of, but I'm gonna continue providing value to these homeowners that need it. Hopefully you like this, and you can show me that by liking the video. In fact, it'd really help me out if you shared this video. Let's start getting these videos go viral. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next YouTube video. Peace.